All right, good morning. It is Tuesday, June 11th, 6:30 a.m. my time. So market opens in an hour. We got CPI and Fed funds and Powell speaking tomorrow. So today I'm kind of expecting maybe some uh, a little bit of movement maybe this morning, and then we kind of probably cool down in the PM session, and then maybe chop till tomorrow, and then before the news we get some volatility as always, and then a huge move most likely. So today's agenda for me is I think I'm going to be looking for maybe an entry swing until to get in for tomorrow. Sometimes I've noticed that things will set up the day before or the 2 days before to get in, whether it's a swing trade on the indices or something else. So I've just noticed that there's always like a entry on the volatility. So anyway, unlike before the volatility, whatever. Anyways, because sometimes news can actually, a lot of people think news causes just manipulations, but it also causes distributions. So usually there's a manipulation before the distribution, and so today that's kind of what I'm looking for. But there's a few things I'm going to look at. Obviously, the day trading for the indices. We'll take a look at yesterday's flow. We'll take a look at a bunch of other tickers too, because I like some of the ideas that I saw in the currencies. So we'll take a look at those too. So let's just go in and dive into the ES. So we're still consolidating at the highs. This looks pretty weak to me, especially with yesterday's flow here. As you can see, SPY-net flow, end of the day, way bearish, trending bearish, calls trending down. But the market tide was the opposite. So kind of a tricky play there. That's what usually what I've seen is the tide kind of will move the market nearer term, shorter term. This isn't by any means a rule, but just what I've seen. And then the Qs is unclear. Let me look at the actual flow from yesterday. So bullish 1 days, yeah, nothing. These kind of counteract bullish, bearish. Maybe we could filter for further out. Maybe we'll do 5 days expirations. Let's see if that worked. Oh yeah, there's a 3-day. Okay. So let's close this. All right. Maybe we can filter out the 1-day expirations. Actually, that way it's just for today and tomorrow and the rest of the week. So maybe even less. 3-day, 4-day. Okay, whatever. All right. So looks like big call. Oh no, this is bearish. All right. This was a 1-day expiration trade. Net bearish, and it's a floor trade. So I like those better. Yeah, nothing crazy. No crazy size. Looks like, yeah. So yeah, there's just nothing really to note for that. It's not super clear. And I'll go back to my regular filters. All right. So we're gonna have to rely on the chart here, but anyways, we do have that note of SPY net flow being bearish. So on Friday we had a big get the fuck out candle. This candle came down into a discount prior to coming up here and then failing. So came into a discount, failed. I mean, you can just see the price action. No displacements to the downside. A displacement to the upside though. So if anything, maybe a long position here targeting another sweep of highs possible. Honestly, that's probably a good like this is a setup right here, honestly. Not the best entry, but you could risk and then have a small little trade. Yeah. Not a super good trade, but if you wanted to hold it, which not really into that. But yeah, so swept some buy stops, came and took out some sell stops, but nothing clearly directional. We did get a displacement above these highs, but then failed here. And this is a fair value gap here, so just ranging, just chopping, nothing clear there. Let's open up our, whoa, what the, where's my indicators, man? That's weird. Man, I had this up nicely. I hope I don't have to. 1 second. I can't remember which one it is, that's why. This might be actually the one. Yeah. Oh well, I'll have to change this later. But anyways, looks like this morning we've taken out London lows, New York PM session lows, lunch lows. So, and this is the new week opening gap. Respecting that. So, possible little long setup. You'd want, if you're gonna get in, if I was to get in this, I'd need to see, yeah, I wouldn't get in this at all. Anyways, back to the charts. So let's look at ES is just ranging. Taking out both buys and sell sides already. Now we're just internal range. I think today would be more of like a seek and destroy type of thing. Take out highs and lows. So comes and sweeps these highs, sells off, takes out this low, then bounces and takes out this high, and then, you know, stuff like that. Still expecting that type of a movement. But that's just after looking at ES. So let's look at the Dow now. So the Dow has been way weaker. Nothing super different than yesterday. Came and held this low, created equal lows. I marked those out, and now we have relative equal highs here too. So same idea. It's possible we bounce here, just like I said on ES. Takes out these swing highs, and then same bullshit, comes back and sweeps the lows, sweeps the highs. So But yeah, Dow is really weak. That's why I have this chart up. I want to see. Let's just show the SMT. Let's look at the 4 though. So higher highs, lower highs. Obvious higher highs, lower highs. Okay. Yeah. Nothing really setting up there with SMT. Even though the Dow is weaker, that's obvious. So, but that doesn't mean it's going to reverse here. I could still see it coming up here, so that's why we're keeping a steady eye on this. This hasn't displaced. It's respecting all these levels still. Just see if we can notice anything on the daily. Oh, that's actually a crooked line. Other than this little gap here. Yeah, honestly, this might be ready to head back up. Maybe take these lows before going, and then taking this high out. So, but yeah, still nothing super clear. With the SPY net flow being bearish and the market tide being bullish, that's been a good signal for me on the weakness on the Dow because of the underlying SPY being like Nvidia and stuff, skewing the flow. So obviously the Dow is weaker, those lower highs. One thing I saw super interesting is on the actual index, the spider, is a spider? Whatever. There's actually a higher high instead of the futures. So that's quite telling, I think. And look at that, the Dow Jones closed green. Did it close green here? Oh, cool. That's why. But yeah, I think the Dow Jones might be giving us some signals here. Oops. For a large move down. I think this could come and sweep this fair value gap, and that would be a possible short on the market for big move down. So we'll keep an eye on that. I have a alert set for when we break this high because I'll be hunting a short sell. I'm honestly debating just setting a limit order in here and just waiting for it to get filled, but at the same time I don't want to just get in just because I want to see the flow. I want to see all the other things so that I can get a better entry. So maybe what I'll do is I'll put a conservative, like, best case scenario entry, and then if it hits, then it's awesome. So maybe I'll do that. But yeah, about the Dow isn't looking good. NASDAQ for like the macro. So NASDAQ is holding up much stronger. We didn't get into a discount here though. So I could also see everybody getting faked out because the NASDAQ's stronger, but it comes deeper. While the Dow actually comes up. And that's just because this is getting some discount market liquidity. So this came down into this fair value gap, but the reason I don't like it is because it's like, obviously this candle is not, it needs to come a lot deeper for me to be more confident in it. We did get is that a displacement? No. Maybe on the 1 hour. Yeah, there we go. So there's another little idea, confluence there, up from here, possibly, on the Dow, or on the indices. Targeting highs is the next. I think right now that's the logical. Yawning like crazy this morning. I think the next logical direction is up, at least short term, for these short term highs, if not this high on all of the indices. So, and then yeah, deeper move down. But yeah, wow, that's interesting. If you just consider this move here from this candle, we still didn't get into discount. So, doesn't need to, but that's just seems likely to me, eventually. What else? So yeah, I'll be watching the flow. I'm probably gonna miss out if there's a trade because there's just nothing super obvious here. Like, this is a possible rejection area. There's just nothing like obvious to me. So we'll stay out until the flow tells me something, like, this morning after the open. There's no news today, so there's no catalyst to help us move really nicely and deliver, a move that I want to see. So that's why today I think my main focus will be on the swing trades. Still in my short on the JPY. That is barely not stopping me out. Don't care if I do, because it's just been a pain trade anyways. Dollar still holding that level I talked about on Sunday. We want to see this either reject or, if it's going to climb higher. But the way it's holding here, it's giving me vibes it might be that might be the level, because Euro has sold off, but it's taken out a low now, and I think it'll start slowing down. Oops. I think it needs to come fill this new week opening gap. So could come a little lower, but I think the sell-off in the Euro was what caused this rally in the dollar. And if the yen sells off, Canadian dollar is taking out lots of liquidity here. This could sell off, so we might get the move down in the dollar, at least down into here, before we decide if we're going to go back up or not. So I'm not saying, oh, this is where it's going to reverse. Just saying that this could pull back before either continuing or coming back up again, just because it's stalling out here above the highs into the daily order block. So also, this is a trade that I found from a YouTuber. Just a trade idea, so I kind of wanted to dive into it today because I saw his analysis, very similar to the way I look for swings. So now that I've done my little daily game plan for some of those things, the indices, I'm gonna just take a deep dive into this. So let me pull over some stuff. So we're gonna look at some seasonal tendencies on Mexican peso, USD, MXN. Guess they don't have it on this one, but they do have the Mexican dollar. So this will be inverse of what we're looking for. So here's inverse This is probably just futures. So we're reaching a tendency to rally, which would mean down on the USD JPY. So that'd be, yeah, a short. So we're reaching a bottom here and we're about to go up. That's my first thing I look at, is if we're going to, do we have a seasonal tendency to move in the direction I'm looking for? Next is, so it checks off that box. And then he also looked at the COT charts, so, which is just funny, but let me pull up the same thing, but for commitment of traders report. Go to the COT chart. All right. So this one, candlestick hollow. See how we've taken out this low. Whoa. Why does this chart different? Anyways, this is an order block here. Interesting. So yeah, this could be really close to the bottom. But that's not what we're really looking at. We're looking at this. So it looks like commitment of traders are, oof. Yeah, I don't know about this. Oops. We want to see the 1 year. There we go. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, I don't like this actually. We're very short. Yeah, we took some profits, but that is tough, honestly. That's tough to see. Maybe we need to look at these. So we went really short here. Let me actually go back and remind myself. Dealer, oh, these are dealers, okay. So the dealers, looks like they don't matter. But yeah, commercials here, they're still way short. So problem is, this is like pretty delayed. So as far as I know, this, if this was above this high or something like that, because that's where looks like they really hedged long here. So they hedged long higher than they did in this dip. So yeah, you know what? I'll stay out of this one, never mind. Still might play out, but that's not my trade. So we'll wait. I'll keep an eye on that. So, well, that was fun. But as for the pound, I think this could head lower too. Doesn't need to. It's already taken out sell side or buy side liquidity. Obviously the euro taking a dive. That's because of the ERCB or whatever. Cut rates. Pound has not, which maybe it will soon. And you can see there is a, on the daily, there's a displacement leg down. So if this comes higher, I would love to get in short for a short-term swing trade back down into where I'd switch long. We don't need to look at the long-term data for that. That's just a intermediate term swing. Games, oof, that's the wrong chart. I don't want to do that. Pound. All right, now we can So yeah, pound looks pretty good for a short, honestly. It's taken out sell side, but this move down is just so much stronger here. I think this could rally higher to break this little retail pattern. What we're just gonna look at, GameStop, not showing the extended trading hours. Maybe it's just too high of a time frame. Oh, okay. So we're still holding yesterday's levels. Bitcoin taking a tumble. So Bitcoin creating, man, so many equal highs here. Just stuck in this range. Dude, if Bitcoin comes down here, man, would I like to buy it. For just a trade, not investment. Doesn't need to, but we've taken a little bit of liquidity. So at least this low, but if we're gonna take out this low, honestly it might just go a little lower. And I hope if we hold this candle here, for example, if we just wick into this fair value gap here, this daily fair value gap. Let's even check the weekly. Weekly's got a fair value gap there too, though. So could bounce there, yeah. But it is displacing, so we'll watch how it closes today. Oil's making a big move lately. Not the type of move that I want to get in. There wasn't a real entry for me. Same thing on the SB GCI index. I wanted to see this come lower. Problem is these equal lows here. If this comes and just keeps displacing higher, which it's not. It looks like it's losing steam here. This could reverse back down and then give us the trade we've been looking for. I think these lows here need to be taken. They don't need to, but something of the sort. What is going on? So, yeah. We'll wait and see how that one works out. Silver, still grinding lower. Gold, SMT from gold and silver. Maybe this is a bottom here. If you can see, there's SMT. And just take that off. Here. Maybe we'll actually compare these real quick. There we go. Looks better. So, oh wow. So yeah, SMT here, gold taking out these lows. I think I'd like to see it take this low, though. But yeah, look, SMT starting to form here. Gold making a higher low here, whereas it's been weaker. So to me, that just shows there's a little bit of strength in this move here. So doesn't mean much because it is just a smaller time frame, but yeah, I think that's about it. Russell, man, Russell just won't do anything. Russell's still stuck in this 2-year long range. Got the sweep here. Another equal high there. Just took it out. Intermediate term liquidity. But it did get the sweep here. So this should, if it's gonna hold, this is where it needs to hold. If it's gonna continue higher. Which would make sense from a macro fundamental perspective, that this holds and breaks out, maybe comes back up into these weekly order blocks and then eventually fails. But yeah, seems like it took out, I mean, I guess it did take this high, but it not really. Like, this is the type of move you want to see, where they can spend some time accumulating. This is just a little wick. Alright, well, that's about it. I didn't write my whole game plan down, but what is this? I'll just do that on my own. Oh, we did look at DXY. Yeah. Alright, yeah, that's the plan. Thanks for tuning in, and this is the end of the stream.